So, as we are navigating through the sea of source units available right now in today's market, we come across a brand that might not be a likely selection, but don't let it fool you because they have two units that certainly deserve your attention. Of course, we're talking about Stinger Electronics, and more specifically, we'll be diving into a high 10 model as well as the SPX M1 model. And we've got Jeff Smith in the house to give us all the details. This is CMA Networks brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Stinger. And it starts now. Welcome back, everybody, to another CMA Network session here brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and as we are talking about source units, we've come across a brand known as Stinger Electronics. You know, that same brand that provides all those premium accessories and wiring, but they also have two incredible offerings within the source unit category. Like mentioned, we have Jeff Smith in the studio. Jeff, can you give us a quick breakdown of exactly what we're going to go into detail about today?
Hey, Ben, that's right. Today we're going to be talking about our two very important units, the Stinger HEIGH10, our 10-inch modular infotainment system, and its little brother, the Marine Power Sports Multimedia System, the SPX-M1.
So two units, Jeff, that serve two very different purposes and loaded with features. And we're going to get right into it. But first, a quick message from our sponsor, SiriusXM, reminding you dealers out there why you love it. And when we come back, Stinger and source units. Don't you dare go away.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and reliability.
People love it.
All right, thanks for coming back. Now, Jeff, we want to get right into it. I suppose we can start with the big brother. In this case, would be the HEIGH10. You know, when Stinger decided to get into the source unit game in this category, I'm sure there were certain benchmarks that wanted to be met. So can you describe to us a little bit about how the HEIGH10 came about and what exactly does it consist of?
That's exactly right, Ben. We actually spent a lot of time researching the field and the market to see exactly what we needed to do in order to be one of the best in the game. The Stinger HEIGH10's concept evolved from the little brother that a lot of guys remember when we first jumped out into the market with the Elevate, the 8-inch version, that then developed into the actual Stinger HEIGH10. We figured out all the important inputs and outputs that the unit needed to have. We also figured out the precise screen size in order to be extremely easy to integrate into vehicles and also be extremely eye-catching. We also figured out a lot of the unique features that we could do that a few other people could not do in order to make the HEIGH10 integrate better than anything else out there on the market.
Well, Jeff, I know this list is going to be long, but I think we've come up with a way that dealers tuning in can really digest all these amazing features. And the first one I want to touch on is what you mentioned there, which is integration. I feel like the HEIGH10 has a superior sense of integration, what it offers, but I'm going to let you tell them why.
That's exactly true, Ben. One of the unique features within the HEIGH10 is going to be the PAC Link port. Now, when I say PAC Link, this is because we mesh two of our high quality brands together, Stinger and PAC, in order to create the ability to connect our Stinger Radio Pro Advanced units into the user interface of the Stinger HEIGH10 head unit. This allows us to connect into the vehicle's data bus via T-harness that comes with the Radio Pro Advanced module, and then convert that data over into information that's translated to the screen of the HEIGH10. This allows us to generate all of the information that we deem is usable and that a consumer would want to know about their vehicle directly on the screen. We're talking TPS information, multiple gauges, everything from water temperature, oil temperature, tire pressure monitoring, transmission information, all the different types of things that we can see on the vehicle's data bus. Now, I know we're not like some of the other guys where we go to one specific type of integration module. We actually dive deep into multiple vehicle platforms and try to give you as much information that we can find on that vehicle's data bus. And this could not be done without the ability of us to merge our brands together like Pack and Stinger to give you the ultimate vehicle integration with the Stinger HEIGH10 and the Pack integration kits.
There's no doubt, Jeff, the integration side of things and the value of the features that not only that you retain but that you gain through that pack integration option is amazing. But before we even dive into the actual features of the electronics, let's talk about what this unit is like from an installer's point of view and what benefits or design benefits that Stinger has incorporated into its overall footprint.
Typically, when we're looking at a customer's vehicle and thinking about what head unit we're going to put into that vehicle, we have to figure out whether it's going to be a single DIN installation or a double DIN installation. This is where the Stinger HEIGH10 is going to overrule all of those options because the actual radio module of the HEIGH10 is a standard DIN size radio chassis that can fit into all aftermarket dash kits or factory radio brackets. It's already pre-drilled and tapped for your standard ISO mounting capabilities. Now, let's just say the vehicle is a double DIN application where you're going to mount the radio module and the screen all in the dash. Well, the other piece in this kit is going to be the radio mounting bracket. This actually can bolt to the top of the radio module, and it has the same ISO mounting holes in order to line up into all the stock bracketry or an aftermarket dash kit to hold the screen and the brain all as one piece like a double DIN chassis in the dash. There's also a very unique metal mounting bracket that comes in the box in order to hold the two together very tightly and securely like a standard double DIN chassis. The other unique piece about the radio mounting bracket is that it has a quick release system that allows the screen to be removed off of the chassis for easier installation. Within this radio mounting bracket, you have the ability for the screen to be set up to tilt plus or minus 15 degrees in the dash or plus or minus 8 degrees to tilt it from left to right for left-hand drive or right-hand drive in order for the screen to have the best visual representation in the dash from the driver's seat. Now, this makes the Stinger HEIGH10 very versatile, but let's talk about those other installations that are going to move it into a category on its own. The Stinger radio module and the screen itself connect to each other via two cables. These cables are 18 inches long out of the box and allow you to mount these two units in the dash separately from each other without any need of cutting, hacking, soldering, extending cables, buying extra things like that. We do this directly out of the box. No other radio manufacturer is going to give you this ability directly out of the box. Now, let's just say you need to get creative, like in a Jeep Wrangler JL, and you need to mount the actual radio chassis at an angle or in any other custom type installation. You can move these guys automatically without any additional parts, those 18 inches. We do sell an accessory kit that allows you to move these guys 5 feet away from each other to have the ability to mount them in any custom installation you could possibly think of. Now, having that ability is extremely unique. We also offer a flush bucket system for the screen that allows custom installers to then fabricate and mold a housing built specifically for the 10-inch screen to go directly into the dash of any vehicle. Having multiple mounting arrangements on the back to raise and lower the system down in order for the screen to be the proper height is also a good feature within the Stinger HEIGH10 itself. So what type of vehicles does the Stinger HEIGH10 fit in? Any vehicle application. Single DIN, double DIN, zero DIN, motorcycle, custom fairings, ATV, UTV, you name it, limos, party buses, you name it. We can have an installation capability done and figured out with you within the components that we sell in the box or add-on accessories without the need of you having to cut, hack, and destroy and reduce the warranty for the customer, all in the modular capabilities of the Stinger HEIGH10.
So now that you've got your HEIGH10 installed in literally any vehicle imaginable, what about the sources, the type of ways that we can play music through the HEIGH10? I think is an important thing that we need to cover, Jeff.
That was another topic that we made sure the Stinger HEIGH10 was packed full of capabilities for audio reproduction for your customers. We ensured that they have all the standards. AM, FM capability. You couldn't think about a tuner functionality without including Sirius XM. Sirius XM is going to be that tuning capability that allows you to select between all the different type of genres that are out there, and we know how much we love Sirius XM. Then we have the ability for the unit to connect via USB. There's dual USB ports on the back of the unit. So not only can you connect a USB to listen to music or video at that capability, because you can actually play back MP4 video files through the dual USB capability as well. A very unique feature within the dual USB capability is going to be the fact that the top USB gives you connectivity to CarPlay and Android Auto. Any infotainment system would be null and void if they didn't have CarPlay and Android Auto. I will say that at the time of development within the Stinger HEIGH10, wired CarPlay was the only option, but there are some aftermarket capabilities out there, such as the RVDFL or ZZ2, that give you the ability to plug into the Stinger HEIGH10 and create a wireless CarPlay Android Auto capability. Now we also have HDMI input. So if you want to be able to mirror your screen or play third-party applications from your cell phone to the head unit, you have the ability of bringing those in through the HDMI port as well. Any head unit today would be a complete miss if it did not have Bluetooth audio streaming capability. And we do this in a very high quality audio format, having complete control between your phone and the actual head unit via that Bluetooth audio streaming capability. So all the standard audio features, audio video input to be able to run video in from an external video source, and a video output for rear seat monitors, a flip down monitor, anything else that you can think of. So all the popular video sources are completely covered within the Stinger HEIGH10 head unit.
So now that we've got our sources settled, I mean, so many different ways to connect and play your favorite music, let's talk a little bit about the audio functionality and tuning that the HEIGH10 offers. Now, from what you said before, did you mention there's some DSP? And if I'm not mistaken, for those audio files out there, I think there's a little something in there that they're going to really appreciate.
That's exactly right. The HEIGH10 has the ability for you to run 6-channel low-level RCA, 4-volt capable, directly out of the unit. This is going to give you the ability for front RCA, rear RCA, and subwoofer RCA. Now, of course, we have the ability to do your standard equalization that are pre-tuned type of curves, rock, jazz, pop, all those type of things that any head unit would have. But we also are going to have built inside of it a fully adjustable graphical EQ that you can save within 6 different presets. So that way you can custom tailor your own curve for the best sounding option within your vehicle. Along with that, we're also going to have fully adjustable crossovers, dedicated front, rear, and subwoofer crossovers, and different level controls within those crossover capabilities as well. Not only can you adjust frequency, but you can also adjust the slope at which the crossover itself rolls those frequencies off. Now, what would make this unit even better for the more audiophile type customer is that now you have the ability, if they can't afford a full standalone DSP, and they're just going back in and re-amplifying or doing something with the 4-channel high level built into the unit or the 6-channel RCA out, we even have the ability for them to custom tailor their seating position through the DSP functionality of the time correction in the unit itself. Now, the time correction is adjustable in either milliseconds or inches and centimeters in order to create and fix the arrival time for your seated position in the actual vehicle that you install the HEIGH10 in. Now, all of this crammed in along with the super features for sources, the DSP capability, and it's going to now lead us into probably the best feature from the audio section of the Stinger HEIGH10, and that is the variable volume toslink optical output. That's right. We have the same optical capability that our PAC Radio Pros have, in the fact that you can run a single optical cable for the highest quality two-channel audio from the brain unit of the HEIGH10 directly back to your DSP amplifiers. And it doesn't matter what brand of DSP amplifier it is. The Stinger HEIGH10's optical out is going to give you a completely noise-free, high-quality audio system that's going to be just perfect for a standalone DSP or DSP amplifier. Under the Stinger brand, we even offer multiple optical cables for different lengths according to where you're going to run it in the vehicle. Any universal optical cable will work, but you have to remember Stinger UN1810 HEIGH10 is the only head unit currently out on the market with that variable volume optical output that makes it a sure winner for your audiophile type customer.
I got to admit, Jeff, the list of features that the HEIGH10 is presenting here today is quite impressive. But I want to give you one last opportunity to highlight any nuggets we may have missed or any secret tricks that this thing can do that we haven't talked about yet.
Well, there are two little special gems that we have for the HEIGH10 as an update. One of the most important are going to be, since we know the HEIGH10 is leaps and bounds above a lot of the other infotainment units in the market. It not only comes with the backup camera input like all the others do, it actually comes with 4 inputs for your camera capability. So this is going to be reverse camera, front camera, left and right blind spot camera, interior camera, exterior camera, wireless, so many different capabilities, right? One of the biggest features that we did within that 4 camera input capability was expand the actual capability to show an even better image on the screen than what most consumers were typically used to by having a standard 480p type backup camera added to the vehicle. We've updated the HEIGH10 with the ability for you to now have 720 AHD resolution. If you don't understand how clean and crisp 720 AHD resolution is over your standard 480p, it's night and day. Crystal clear images, better vision at night, better capability of your reading signs and reading things coming in for your front and rear and side cameras. It's a huge improvement for the screen type, quality, and size that the HEIGH10 has, being that it's a 10-inch monitor. This is going to be as clean as it would be if it was a 5, 6, or 7-inch double din on this larger 10-inch screen now. There are some other companies out there that offer kind of high resolution screen capabilities, but we do it with all 4 of our camera inputs. You're not limited to only one camera input. And we have an entire suite of cameras available from our EchoMaster line that fit that AHD resolution that will go directly into the Stinger HEIGH10. The other features that we now have as well is the ability for the unit to control RGB lighting. This is because under the Stinger brand as well, we've also introduced a new lighting system called the HEIGH10 system. You get that? HEIGH10, HEIGH10. Now this has a complete ability for the RGB system to plug directly into the Stinger HEIGH10 for control over the system. You have the ability to turn your lighting off and on, the ability to link the color capability so that you can match your interior ambient lighting with the unit's RGB lighting within the vehicle or externally. Totally up to the customer how they want to control their RGB lighting. You can pick from millions of different colors by adjusting the RGB menu that's shown on the screen, and you have complete customized capabilities for making their lighting set off and be a great addition to any factory system or aftermarket system or any show vehicle directly through the HEIGH10 itself. So not only do you have HD capability, but you now have full RGB control within the Stinger HEIGH10, rounding out a ton of features that we pack into this infotainment system.
Now, we promised at the top of the show there are not one, but 2 units that we're going to be covering. And the other one, we're going to shift over to more of that marine power sports space because Stinger's got a solution called the SPX-M1. Jeff, can you give us an overview of the great features that this thing has packed full of?
The SPX-M1 multimedia player is a head unit that most people would not expect from Stinger Electronics. The SPX-M1 was derived from the need for us to have complete control over the audio systems that we offer in both marine and power sports applications. Looking at everything else that was currently in the marketplace, we saw the ability for us to add some very unique features to allow the SPX-M1 to be a real winner for dealers. One of the most important features is going to be the high quality 2.7-inch screen that is optically bonded. And what that means is that it's a 3-layer screen between the LCD and the front plastic panel that most people will touch. There's another piece of glass in the middle. When all 3 of these pieces are sandwiched together, this gives you the ultimate in screen resolution and protection. That optically bonded screen is going to be perfectly visible in sunlight and also of easily viewable with polarized sunglasses due to that optically bonded screen. So you never have to worry about dirt, dust, debris, or vibration ruining the screen of the SPX-M1 head unit. From there, we actually took the ability for it to be rugged as far as a screen and took the circuit board of the unit and then conformally coated all the electronics to resist moisture out into the elements. Because we know in vessels or ATV, UTV applications, it's going to get completely tested to the max in all of those different types of elements. From there, we actually put everything together into a package that sealed it in order to create this IPX rating. We have an IPX rating of 6, which means this unit can take a full-on power washing when you're cleaning your ATV, UTV, or cleaning out your boat, and being able to resist that water from seeping into the unit and causing any damage. So whether it be power washing, rain, fog, mud, whatever the case may be, the SPX-M1 is going to be completely capable of withstanding any of those elements. Some of the other unique features within the SPX-M1 is going to be not only the source capability of AM/FM, we've also added weather band, because when you're out on the trails or out in the water, you want to be able to know what's going on with the weather so you know when to head back to a safe place. We also give you USB capability. USB playback allows you to connect any thumb drive or your cell phone in order to play back music through the USB port. The USB port is on a dongle that can be mounted with any of the Stinger accessories that can be completely covered and protected from elements as well. There's also a 3.5 aux input into the back of the unit. We also have additional features such as dual RCA outputs. This can be used as a front output and a rear output if you want to maintain your fader. The rear output can also be switched to a subwoofer output control if you add a subwoofer to your vehicle. This is a really easy to use adjustment because most times we're adjusting the subwoofer or the volume first. So that's the first menu option you come to when you press the knob on the SPX-M1 is the sub-level control along with volume, being able to have complete control over that. If for whatever reason you don't want to use it as a subwoofer option, it does have crossover capability, but you can shut that off and kind of create a zone 1, zone 2 type scenario where you have 2 different volume levels between the actual RCAs. Now, don't be lost in thinking that the SPX-M1 is only capable of driving amplifiers, but it has 4-channel high-level out power to drive 4 speakers built directly into the unit itself. Additional features that make the SPX-M1 really unique is that it also has a backup camera input. That's right, most power sports marine head units don't have a backup camera input, but when you want to keep up with what's going on the trail behind you or make sure that your trail mate's all good, you have that ability to touch the screen and go directly to the camera or have a reverse trigger to automatically pull up that camera image. And of course, it wouldn't be a AMP product if we didn't allow our EchoMaster cameras to be brought directly into this screen, and we created IPX, high-rated IPX cameras in order to bring that ability directly into this unit. So not only is the SPX-M1 capable for rugged off-road use, but we have cameras in the EchoMaster line that work directly with these off-road and marine applications. Last but not least, we have probably one of the most unique features, and that's going to be the switch command. Switch command allows you to control up to 4 outputs from the screen of the SPX-M1. This can go out to dedicated relays in order to turn things on like extra fans, lighting, light bars, or a winch, or anything else that you could imagine, where typically you're going to have to add more holes on the dash by drilling additional switches to turn things off and on. Having switch command built directly into the SPX-M1 can lead out to other things, such as a very unique product that we have that pairs excellently with the SPX-M1, and that's called the Switch Hub. The Switch Hub is a 100 amp solid state relay that has 4 trigger inputs, just like the 4 outputs from the SPX-M1 directly on the screen, to then have 100% control of up to 100 amps of capability in 4 dedicated outputs. Now, the combination of these two makes added accessories to your boat or your UTV, ATV, a pure winner. All of this packaged into the SPX-M1 makes it the ultimate in power sports and marine multimedia players.
So if there's anything that Jeff Smith has taught me is that when Stinger comes out with something, especially in that source unit category, they put a lot of thought because these two units are absolutely jam-packed. If you're interested to learn more about the products that we covered today, make sure you check out their website at stingerelectronics.com. Now, my takeaway, yeah, they may not have a catalog this thick of 30 different models, but if you look at the feature set that these guys have packed into their units, I think you will agree that these just may be the right source unit for the situation. On that note, thanks for tuning into this CMA Network session brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.